You're welcome to today's YouTube live. You're welcome. And today is going to be another time of learning. Uh, how are you doing? Today is going to be another time of learning. And today we're going to be talking about how not to lose yourself in your marriage because a lot of people get to lose themselves, especially women, right? Marriage can actually change you completely. Marriage can distort, your life in a way that you cannot imagine. And that's what we want to talk about today. How not to lose yourself, how to still be yourself even after you have gotten married. There are a lot of people that before they got married, their career was going well, their finance was going well, their health was going well, they were physically fit, they were spiritually okay, their spiritual life was bubbling, their finance was good, their relationship, they have good friends, they have built good association, they were doing well academically, they were going for their masters, they were planning to go for their PhD, they had scholarships, things was going well for them, before marriage. Then they got into marriage and boom, you know, it seems that everything just pauses, career pause, especially for women. It happens more to women, right? Yeah, there are men that also, have that type of change, but it happens more to women because most women, when they marry, a woman will lose her name, her surname, drops her father's name for her husband's name. The woman most will leave her house wherever she's living. Most times she'll be the one to move from her house to the man's house. Sometimes we move cities, sometimes we move countries, and it's usually a tough one. Yes, we have a guest here already. Yep. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. My wife was telling me that you actually had a major program today. Is that true?
Yes, yes.
I'm like, if I'd known, I would have
I've
not like,
been I've been everywhere. The last 3 days it's been back to back for me, but it's okay.
you are the one controlling Abuja now.
Amen. Oh.
I was telling my wife that you are the best event host in Abuja right now, the hottest,
Amen.
number
Yes,
one.
yes,
It's not a matter of
yes,
number, amen. It's
yes,
the truth now.
yes, yes, yes.
You are the owner
I
of
agree.
Abuja when it comes to event hosting right now.
Yes, so and we want to break beyond Abuja. We
Glory to
want to
God.
break
No,
yes.
you're already global. You're global. You're global.
Amen. Thank you so much, Coach.
Global.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
all
you.
welcome. You're all welcome to today's live. We have Coach Stoker in the building. Coach Stoker is an on-air personality.
Yeah.
She's the one that handles most of the events in Abuja and Nigeria, the top of the top of the top, global
I'm
events,
honored.
international events, and she's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Funnily, I and my wife were having a discussion today. So I usually tell my wife that, in my opinion, I feel that God usually specially blesses women who block out the first, let's say, 7 years of their life after marriage to
Mm,
raise children.
mm,
That most times, from my own observation, those women, when they get back to work, there seems to be an acceleration. And most
mm,
times, that these women even take over women that have been working for years. Some of
mm,
them even begin to earn more than their husbands that never took a break.
mm.
I believe that God somehow, if a woman can,
Compensate,
eh?
compensate her.
Yeah, there's compensation because you see
Mm,
a lot of women who have given birth and after they bounce back, there's speed. There is,
mm,
they even know the way God blesses them, their career is usually amazing.
mm,
However,
mm,
in my opinion, I think that what blocks that for most women is that most women get bitter and they get
mm-hmm.
hateful, resentful
Resentful, yeah.
through that process. And once you allow resentment, offenses, bitterness, hate cloud your heart and your mind, you're not going to get that compensation.
Yeah. I
And I
mean, it's
believe,
a lot of adjusting to
yeah,
do in the part of the woman. It's not easy. I remember specifically, I was still telling my husband like 2 days ago, there was a day, I think it was my first I had at the time, and I just hated the fact that he was going out, interacting with the world, having intelligent conversations with people, and I was just stuck at home doing goo 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 goo. Hey, hey, hey. I hated it. Do I love my son? Yes, but did I miss being in the world? Yes. And there
mm,
was a particular day I lied to my mom. I just told her because she was around for Omugo. So I told her that I wanted I told her that I had a bank transaction to go do. I had nowhere I was going. I just told a taxi man to just take me round Lagos.
Kai, Kai.
I just wanted that breeze. I just wanted to go out. I just wanted to talk to someone other than my child, my mom, and my husband because the only conversation we're having was just about the child. So,
Mm,
yes, it could cause resentment. And then, if you don't have a supportive partner again, it could cause serious bitterness. You'd hate yourself, you hate your spouse. And some women even fall deeply into postpartum depression, and they even hate the child. You understand? Because
mm,
it's like, is this my life now? Like, so this is all there is to me now. And if you're not careful, everyone will bear the brunt for the way you feel at that moment. So is it
mm,
for a time? Yes. But do we feel that that time is usually longer than they say that the days are long, the years are short.
mm, mm,
Truly, it is. You feel it is unending. Day by day, you're doing the same thing. So it could be a lot. It could be a lot to adjust to.
mm. And so I'm sorry I even started the conversation that way. But the reality of the matter is that a lot of people lose themselves after
Yeah.
marriage. And in my opinion,
Yes.
I think women lose themselves way more than even men do, right?
Yes.
When a woman gets married, she's going to give up her father's name, right, to take up her
Mm-hmm.
husband's name.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to most likely leave her father's house. No, not even most likely. She's definitely going to leave
Definitely.
her father's house.
Definitely.
Or if
Yes.
she's living alone or with her friends, she will leave her natural habitat or her natural shelter to the man's
Mm-hmm.
shelter. In some cases, you have to move cities. In
Yeah.
some cases, you have to move countries, right? To
Mm-hmm.
go live with the husband. Most times you have to leave jobs. Most times they leave job, they leave business. Many of them leave their religion. Some people leave their churches, their mosques, I've been reading mosques, to
Mosques.
so there's a lot of change for the woman, right? Sometimes you have to leave your friends, the friends you used to have, because they are single, you are married. And in Africa, they'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you why you still interacting with
Why
people
are
who
you
are single.
mingling with those that are
So it's a
yes?
lot of changes for a lot of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to start thinking about what one man will eat every
Hmm.
day. You have to think about, taking care of the home. And for many people, they don't even have supportive partners,
Yeah.
So there's changes spiritually in your health, in your career, in your finance, in your relationships, your associations, your academics, in your time. Everything changes. Almost everything changes,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Mm-hmm.
fact that you might even be distant from your family.
Yeah.
So, what does that feel for as a woman? What does that feel like as a woman? So I think a lot of men don't understand. A lot of men don't understand that.
Hmm.
Like, you just feel like it's normal now.
Okay, so today I'm going to be speaking more from my personal experience and experiences of people that are around me. So when
Okay.
I got married, we're going to be 10 years next
Woo!
year. So
It's just like yesterday, oh, we're at
I
Ibadan doing
know.
Super Bowl.
I know. So when I got married,
Wow.
there were certain conversations we had before we got married. So I am from a closely knit family. My dad literally is my first love.
Mm,
He explained to me what love is. We come from a family where you could talk about anything. You understand? So I ensured that even whilst we were dating, he knew.
mm,
I mean, there was a time we had a period where we were on long distance relationship and all of that, and he was in Zaria, I was in Lagos, and he wanted me to come over, and I told him you have to call my dad to take permission.
mm,
You understand? So he knew what family meant to me. So I think sometimes when we don't express to who we are trying to spend the rest of our lives with, who we are, we don't let them know who we truly are, then it's easy for us to now start compromising again when we get married. So he
mm,
knew already what family meant to me. We literally told each other, I told him that my family, wherever you are in the world, we come together during the Christmas and New Year holiday. But because we're going to become one, I don't know how you do it in your family, but I'm giving you the permission to choose one. Which one would you choose? Is it Christmas or is it New Year? Because I have to spend one with my family.
okay.
Do you understand? So all of this is just to prepare his mind about I would never dissociate from my family because I'm now married to you.
Mm,
So these were the conversations we had.
okay.
But did I still, even having after having such conversations with him, did I still transition smoothly? No, I didn't. It wasn't easy for me. You see that cooking part, very, very, very tricky something. I had to, but because I had a support system. So when people alienate themselves because they are married, I really don't understand. Because you can't do life alone. That's the truth. You can't do life alone. So I remember even in my office at the time, I told some girls that they weren't married. I was the first married person in my office as at that time.
Okay.
So I told them that, yeah, I told them that, can you guys draw up food timetable for me? You understand? So
Yeah.
I was always expressive about how I was feeling at the time. So I think one of the ways people lose themselves is the fact that they just suck everything in. They don't talk to people. When you open up to someone sometimes they are able to now let you start knowing when you're beginning to lose yourself because you're an
Yeah.
open person. So it's easy for them to call you to order like what's going on? You're not yourself lately. But if you don't talk to people, then they just feel, oh, I mean, I don't know, it's probably a business. I don't know what she's going through. You understand? But is it possible to lose yourself in marriage? Yes, very. Because you are now into this role of I'm a wife. And then you now transit again into being a mother. It consumes you. And before you know it, you can't even remember. There are days I tell my children that people call me mommy so much that I've forgotten my name. It's just mommy,
Mm,
mommy, 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 you get.
mm,
And you if you're not careful, you forget who you are. Your identity outside being a wife and a mother, you lose it.
mm,
So many women face that so much. Losing your identity, you stop knowing who you are outside being a wife. You lose your voice as well. You stop expressing opinions. You stop expressing desires or boundaries, all in the name of I want to keep peace. You understand? You lose your dreams, you lose your goals, or we were saying something about at the start of this conversation. We talked about sacrifice. Some women having to pause their career just to nurture children. That's sacrifice. That's different from losing yourself. Losing yourself means permanently postponing your dream.
mm, mm,
You understand? I was listening to Amoni Oboli. I mean, for that was sometime this week. She got this YouTube award for the best creator in. But there was a time Omoni had to suspend her dreams for 10 years to nurture her family.
mm,
That is sacrifice.
mm.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But losing yourself means you don't even revisit it anymore. There are no plans in place. Your spouse does not even care if you do what you love to do. That is completely losing yourself. You lose your emotional center, your mood, your joy, your peace. It depends on your partner. If your partner is sad, you're sad. If if they're not talking, you lose your peace.
mm,
You lose your self-worth. Your value is measured by how pleased your spouse is. If your spouse is happy, you feel, I've done, I'm a good wife, I'm a good person. So yes, losing yourself doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small permissions you give up daily.
mm,
Anytime you refuse to say what you're supposed to say because you want to keep peace, you're losing a bit of yourself. It
mm.
becomes accumulated, and then you now grow this resentment. That's where you hear people saying unreconcilable differences. Sometimes they are not even able to point out one particular thing. It's just an accumulation. They're just tired. They've added to here. So it's important that you, as women, it's important that you try as much as possible to even identify context in which you can lose yourself so that you can now mitigate against it. So yes, women lose themselves in marriages and to motherhood. Yes.
Wow. One of the things you said that is, you said a lot of profound things. But the most striking for me is the difference between sacrifice and losing yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's really, really, really profound. That uh, so let me ask a question for that. I'll still come back to that, but let me ask a question. That are you saying that every woman that is going to get married, we go through the process of sacrifice and it's okay? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That it's
And in
okay, should
fact,
be accepted? Yeah.
yes. So I tell people this. I say that there are different kind of women now. So we have, I'm going to put it in two categories. We have the stay-at-home moms, and then we have the career and working moms.
Okay.
If your ministry is to stay at home, that's very fine.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm not going to look at a person who is staying at home and think less of her, because it is
Hmm.
serious work. It is work. And also, when I now look at career women, am I going to make her feel bad for choosing a career? No, I wouldn't. But either ways, when you say to yourself, as a woman, as a parent, or an as a person who wants whatever he or she is doing to work, you understand that there are times and seasons. So you would know that there are times, even men, okay, because I'm a woman, I'm going to be tilting towards women, but I would like as much as possible to strike a balance.
Yeah.
Even as men, if you are responsible, you can't do what you used to do when you were single.
Yes.
So you would have to sacrifice.
Hmm.
Would you rather hang out with your friends on a Friday night? Yes. But do you have to be home to your wife and kids because you guys choose to do movie night on Friday and you love your family, you want a certain culture and a certain energy in your home? You would forfeit that club with your friends and be home because there's an atmosphere you're trying to create in your family.
Yeah.
That's sacrifice. So there are points as women, if you say to yourself, because you see children, this is my take. You can always pick up your career again, but you can never, if you lose that crucial developmental stage of a child's life, you lose that child forever.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's why, as a good mother who knows what she wants out of her children, you understand that that time you have to sacrifice.
Hmm.
So, yes, you will sacrifice. And is that to say that people who you're seeing out there doing it are not sacrificing? No, that's not to say that. They probably have systems in place to help them do that. So I'm not going to fault a career woman who has a child at home, like, oh, you're not investing in your family, you're not nurturing your children. I don't know what system she has put in place to do that. But that you will not sacrifice, you definitely will, especially when you know the kind of children you want to raise. So you will. Is it your marriage that will make you sacrifice? No. Is it motherhood? Yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I don't think my husband would, because if I don't have a child that I'm nurturing, why do I have to stay at home?
Hmm. Yeah.
But if I have a child that I'm nurturing, a child that I want to be a part of his life or her life, I want to see certain value imbibed. And we hear of so many stories now that you feel that if you were there, it wouldn't happen as a mother. And so you just get overly protective that, you know what, for this period of time, I just really want to be around for my child. You understand? So periods like that, you have to sacrifice, and then you put them in, or you nurture them to a certain stage. You feel that yes, they can now handle things, even with maybe like a nanny or someone else come around. But for that time, you have to sacrifice. I think every woman in some sort of way sacrifice. Even women that you see out there, they're sacrificing in some sort of way. So, and it is okay. What makes it the that sacrificial stage painful is when women act in denial of that stage. So you feel resentful, you hate your life because you don't see your life outside that stage. I'm talking to you like this because I also had to have someone remind me. Anytime my mom, like I established at the start of our conversation, that I'm from a very closely knit family. So there's basically nothing I can't tell my parents. God rest my dad. So, we talk a lot. And at the start of this year, I didn't have a help. It was crazy for me. And while I'm sweeping, because I don't like a dirty space. So my kids will scatter the place. I'd have to clean it up again and all of that. And my mom, she knows that I get frustrated over things like that easily. So you see her intermittently calling me up on phone. How are you holding up? Are you okay? And all of that. And when she hears me shouting, she's like, okay, just leave the house. Like, it doesn't really have to be that neat. You understand? Like, can you just, you've swept 3 times already. Can you just leave it like that? And then, anytime I'm expressing how frustrated I am, she reminds me something. She says it in Yoruba. On dagba senior keresi.
Hmm. Hmm.
These children are getting older. So I think and I said something. I said, the days are long, but the years are short.
Hmm.
So, what makes that sacrificial phase painful for women is because of the long days. So, they start looking at it like, when will I be out of this?
Hmm.
How long do I have to be like this? Especially when they don't even have a spouse that supports them. So, it's like you are progressing. And especially when they have, I say this, our money, your money is sweet, but my money is sweeter. When I am making my money, I'm happier than when I have to depend on my spouse all the time. I want to buy this, I have to call. Do you get? So
Yeah.
those are one of the things that makes a woman go insane. Like, how long will I be at home doing nothing, just catering to the kids, catering to my husband, and having to wait for him to give me money? You get? So because the day is long, the days are long, it feels really painful. But the moment a woman understands and accepts, you see, acceptance is a great virtue. When you know that this is the stage I am right now, and I'm
Hmm.
going to carry on with it gracefully, I will be happy, I'll be joyful, I will thank God. Because the truth is, before you know Jack Robinson, the kids are grown already. You get? So accepting that this is the phase you are and finding joy in it, and preparing for when you come out of that phase, makes it less,
Hmm.
less intense on you. You know, Omonioboli, I'm still taking my cue from Omonioboli. She said during those 10 years, was she just sitting at home? No, she was taking directorial courses online. She was preparing herself for after she knew she had the goal, she knew the timeline.
Mm.
She knew that, oh, okay, I'm going to put so much in my family for 10 years. By that time my kids will be grown. I would have put in the system and the culture of the family. I would have imbibed in them certain values, so that when I now bust out of that phase, I'm able to launch as greatly as I want to. So what makes the sacrificial phase less stressful? Number one, having a spouse that is very understanding and is on the same page with you. Number two, no, in fact, number one is accepting that that's the phase in which you are. That's number one. Number two, having the right support system, spouse, friends, and all of that. Number three, mapping out plans for when you get out of
Okay.
that phase, knowing that this is what I'm going to do. What can I do to invest in myself while I'm still at home, while I'm still tending to the kids, while I'm still trying to, cultivate values in my kids and all of that. So all of this helps to make that phase less hurtful. Yeah, let me put it that way, because it could be hurtful to women when you feel that your life is on hold, you're on a pause phase. It could feel somehow and run you insane.
Awesome, awesome. So the first thing you mentioned is that every woman needs to accept that there's a face like that, and it's
Yes.
okay, right? It's okay. Number two
Yes.
is that you need to have the right support system, your spouse, your
Yes.
family, your friends,
Yes.
right? Your
Yes.
siblings. And
Yes.
the third thing is mapping out plans and strategies for the next
Yes.
phase after that phase.
After that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a
Yes.
good example that we have is Omoni Oboli and her story,
Yes.
right? I
Yeah.
want you to share your own story too, because people, please, if you have any question, please make sure you ask your question. Send your question in. Then please subscribe to Coach Toke YouTube channel. She's starting my YouTube channel soon. I've launched it for her already.
I see what you're doing there.
So please subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. Then subscribe to this channel also, because we'll be giving you a lot of this content. We're having conversation around how to build healthy marriages and healthy families. Because when the family is broken, the society will be broken, and we want to see how we
Yeah.
can help people more. So there's something I want you to do for me. We have
Okay.
men on this life now. There are people on this life, and there are people that are going to what will happen. People you go come back to watch the life. So,
Okay.
can you explain to men, because a lot of men don't understand what women go through,
Mm.
right? And sometimes you hear men say, "What is it? My mother had 7 children, and what?"
Mm-hmm.
I've heard men say that, right? I've seen men say, "What's there?
Mm.
What's there in? Are you the first person to give birth?
Mm.
You know, are you the first person? What's your problem?" Men can't relate, and because they don't go through the level of sacrifice. Usually I usually recommend to women not to compare, because
Mm.
what I suggest to women is that when you compare what you go through with what your husband is going through, you are insulting yourself. It's an insult, because there's
Mm.
no comparison, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you insult what you bring to the table than what a man brings to the table, there's no comparison. What you bring to the table
Mm-hmm.
way is just not, it doesn't, it's belittling what you
Mm-hmm.
bring to the table, because you bring your life to the table, you bring your
Exactly.
everything, right? So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
men don't understand. Can you just give us like a short expose so that men can
Mm-hmm.
understand that more your wife is going through a lot, and you need to be on ground, you need to be supportive, you need to be
Mm.
available. And the truth is, as
Yeah.
a man, you cannot match the sacrifices of your wife. That's the bitter truth. So
Mm.
men kind of like confused. Me, I'm out there busting my ass to make money for the house. You are just at
Mm.
home. You're just at home.
Mm.
You're at home. Like what you said now, you have to clean it. My wife cleans the house too, several times.
Mm.
So my even beg her, now, "You just leave it now." I say, "No, I can't leave it, because these children can pick something that is
Yes.
harmful. They
Yes.
can be jumping and step on something that is harmful." And she sweeps,
Yes.
she
Yes.
cleans like 3, 4 times in a day.
Yes.
She's washing clothes. She has to think
Mm-hmm.
about what they will eat. Sometimes your child eats like 2 hours a day, 2 hours every 2 hours.
Yeah, every 2 hours. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
she's breastfeeding one. Oh, she's
Yes. It's a
man.
lot. So I'd like to say that it's only a very selfish and inconsiderate man that would ask in 2025 that what do women bring to the table, and a totally uninformed man would even think about such a question. So now I think we are in an era where women have said to themselves that I'm not going to walk the path of my mom. I'm not going to subject myself to the subjugation that my mom or our mothers experienced. And that's why you see that divorce rate is higher. It's because they have said to themselves, I'm not going to take that bullshit.
Mm,
I know my worth. I am not staying here. It's not just, you don't have to beat me to leave. If you're toying with my emotion, if I am feeling unsafe, if I am not experiencing a certain level of peace, then I'm upping and leaving. So the question is, when they say that, oh, our mothers then they have 7 kids, the first thing I want to say to any man who thinks that way is, are you sure you are very aware of what your mom went through?
mm,
Because there are a lot of mothers who practically wet their pillows to sleep, and then they pancake their face in the morning because they don't want their kids to pick negative aura.
mm,
They have so much pain buried in them that they age on time. And then because they love us, the kids, they try as much as possible to shield us from it. So any man who feels, at least our mothers did it then, why that man is so uninformed. As much as I say to you that I have a closely knit family, I would also like to put out that because I have a closely knit family, it was easy to pick up inconsistencies. It was easy to understand when the mood in the house was not okay. You understand? And at some point, I grew older to tell my mom that why are you accepting this from my dad? You understand my point?
yeah.
A woman goes through many things. I'm not even going to start from motherhood now. Even being a wife, because you have, let me give you a practical example. So my best friend before I got married was a guy, and he told me something. He said to me that um when you get married, because your husband is still going to be so much in love with you, quickly tell him, because he's in love, quickly tell him or give him duty, something he will do in the house, so that he would be helping you with that thing, that house chore. So I remember that day um I think I was cooking, and we had the sink had issue. So I couldn't wash plates in the sink. So I had to take the plates outside to wash. I was cooking, I was washing, it was just a lot. So I went to my husband, disgusted that hey, hey, I'm cooking, I'm washing, I'm trying to carry water from, and then you're just in the sitting room pressing phone. So I went to meet him, and I'm like, that I'm cooking, but I didn't say it in a very good way. I'm like, I'm cooking, I'm washing, I'm da 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 da, da," and then you're just here pressing your phone, da 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 da. And let me tell you what he said to me next. He said in 13 years that he lived with his aunt, with his sister, they were telling him what to do. Now he's married, nobody can tell him what to do again.
Mm,
See, those are one of the ways that women lose themselves. So now, because you want peace, you keep quiet. He has said that, and you just feel, oh, that's how he's going. You know what I said to myself? I said, oh, Holy Spirit, teach me how to approach this,
mm,
because I want to talk. And I sat him down. I said, what do you mean by that? We had a conversation, serious conversation. I think this was like maybe the second week of our marriage, or maybe the third week of our marriage. And then I told him that go back to our social studies textbook where they say mommy in the kitchen cooking, daddy goes to farm, and all of that. I said, remember that mommy does not go to work. Mommy is at home waiting for daddy to bring produce from the farm so that she can cook. I said, you go to work. I go to work. You come back late. I come back late. Then I'm still compelled as the wife to go to the kitchen to cook. No, it can't work.
Hmm.
That can't work. I wasn't nagging about it. I just needed him to understand that it's a partnership and it's best for us to trash this issue now. So maybe if I'll talk to anybody listening here today who isn't married yet, I'll say maybe you should include that in some premarital conversations. How would house chores be? How are we? Because all of this overwhelms women. As little as thinking about what to eat is a lot. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
And when you don't have a spouse who wants to be involved in stuff like this, you carry the weight of all of this alone. So, yes, it is a lot. Now, not to talk about having kids, it's not easy. And it pains me when a man compares pregnancy, a woman's pregnancy, to another woman's pregnancy. There is no pregnancy that is the same. In fact, if you have babies, not baby now, you've had a first child, a second child, chances are your experiences are different.
Different,
We have
yes.
some pregnancies that very smooth, very easy. We have another one that you will vomit from the beginning of the pregnancy to the end of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Now home again, you've given birth. Do you even know? Oh, gosh, it's just so much. Is it CS you want to talk about? Or is it natural delivery you
Yeah.
want to talk about? There is no easy way to this. Even those who use epidural, afterwards, they'll, because I gave birth to my kids via CS, all of my kids. At that moment, you are not feeling pain. But when you are done,
Yeah.
the kind of pain you go through. But if, you know what makes everything sweet? When you have a partner that is understanding. I remember very well that we did, myself and my husband decided not to tell his his mother, that's his own side, that we did CS. You understand? We decided not to tell them. And as a woman, when you give birth naturally, you're supposed to massage your tummy and all of that. But because I did CS, I wasn't supposed to do that. But because myself and my husband are friends, he would follow me to the bedroom as if he's helping me massage, and I'll be fake shouting and just just to make them feel that just to make them feel that he's massaging me.
You people.
That's what partnership and friendship is
Yeah.
about. Because the load is supposed to be shared, except you want one person to run mad.
Hmm.
How about breastfeeding? Every woman will tell you that sometimes in your first pregnancy, your breast milk might be rushing like tap. Second one, it might not really rush like that.
Yeah.
That alone can make you feel mentally drained and inadequate. You start feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not producing enough for my child. Do you know how that can mentally take a toll on a woman? You feel like you feel like your body has failed you.
Hmm.
And do you know that there are some men who would not understand that it's not her fault?
Yeah.
Who will still hound her and shout like, why? Do you understand? Do you know what I told my doctor? I told my doctor when I was having my last girls, my twins, that please sit my husband down and explain to him that he should not expect that I would exclusively breastfeed two babies at the same time.
Hmm. Ha. Two babies
And
breastfeeding.
so she had to call my husband. Yeah, she had to call my husband and my mother. I hope you know that she's not going to exclusively breastfeed. I hope you know that formula is the main meal. Then the breast milk, we're going to use the breast milk as water afterwards. Because there's some men again who would make their wife feel bad. In fact, before it used to be breast milk is the best. Now they'll tell you fed is best. As long as the baby is fed, that's okay. So all of these things. So that's why I keep pointing back to the fact that you need to have a supportive spouse. You need to have a spouse who knows that we are in this together. Whatever will make my wife feel fine, whatever would help her regulate, because it can be a lot. How about pregnancy hormone? Oh my gosh, it's a lot. You find women just cry. I remember just crying. I'll just start crying.
Hmm.
So it's a lot. Then you go out again to work and then you come back. You wonder what your wife has been doing. Your wife has been trying to keep your babies alive. Because do you
Hmm.
know that these children naturally just want to kill themselves? They just want to unalive themselves. So that's what your wife has been doing. And still, you now come back and you don't appreciate and you make her feel less of herself. You make her feel like, what have you been doing since morning, or what do you bring to the table? Hell no, we should do better as men. We should
Yeah.
do better as men. But because our conversation today is centered around not losing yourself, so I'll say this to the women: as much as it can be so overwhelming, you need to constantly you need to constantly invest in yourself. You need to constantly remind yourself who you are outside of being a mother, outside of being a wife.
Okay. Now, my last question, although maybe not last, maybe second to last question is
Okay.
the reality is that there are women who have lost themselves.
Yes.
How can they regain themselves?
Hmm. That's a good one. So how can you so I think I'm going to say it in how do I put it this way? I'll say it in maybe like three folds. Yes, I'll put
Okay.
it to like three folds. Number one, you need to understand that there is more to you aside being somebody's wife and somebody's mother.
Okay.
And that's why I'll say that it's necessary to find yourself before marriage.
Mm, mm,
So when you know who you are before you are married, then it's easy to even quickly identify when you're losing yourself.
mm,
But if you don't even have a context to which you view, or a lens through which you view yourself, then anything goes in marriage. You're just doing it like you really don't know who you are. So number one, you have to maintain identity before role. You are a woman first, then a wife. You need to keep your interest. What are the things that used to interest you before you got married?
mm,
Ensure that you still do those things. Because you're a
mm,
married woman does not mean you should now not, you know, keep your friends anymore. Keep your friendships, keep personal growth. Marriage should add, not replace your identity. Who were you
mm,
before? A whole woman makes a healthy marriage. Who were you before you got married? That's who you still should be. Another thing is you should keep your voice alive. Speak even when it's uncomfortable. Yeah, I was I was telling my husband, I think that was maybe like 3 months ago. I asked him, I said, I hope I'm not husband pleasing. He said, what do I mean by that? I said, I hope I've not become, oh, okay, whatever you want. He said, you, whatever you want, okay. You understand? So
yeah.
am I saying nag? No. Am I saying just speak and attack your spouse? No. But I'm saying that you must keep your voice alive. Speak even when it's uncomfortable. Share your needs before they turn to bitterness. Because the truth is, if you don't say what you want, it keeps building, 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 and then you now start getting start feeling resentment towards your spouse. And you know the funniest part is he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
If you're not talking, he doesn't even know. So silence doesn't keep peace, it only delays explosion. There will be a
Mm.
day that you can't take it anymore. You just explode. And then your spouse start wondering, where is this coming from? You understand? And I think another thing is some women have made their children and their spouse the center of their world so much that they emotionally dump on their spouse. You can love your spouse without abandoning yourself.
Mm.
Learn where you end and where your partner begins. What is that thing about you that can continue even with your spouse being there? Then it's important for you to, I was listening to Kemi Adeosun yesterday, the former finance minister, and she said that there's something she does every 4 years. She chooses new interests. So she I think she said 4 years ago she learned how to play tennis. So personal growth is very important. And that's why you see that sometimes you see a spouse, you see a couple where you feel that there's a disconnect. The guy is probably very intelligent, and you're now like, why is the wife so, you get? Personal growth, you must keep evolving mentally, spiritually, emotionally. As a wife, even when you're a stay-at-home person, you need to read, you need to learn. How would you I was listening to I don't know if you know this real estate company, Michelle Holmes. He was saying that himself, that his wife is his advisor, that he comes home every day to, engage his wife, share things with her, and she gives advice. And I said to him, I said, it's because your wife understands what you're doing. It's because you both are on the same level intelligently. You're both on an intellectual level. That's why you can share certain things with her, and she'll be able to advise you. So, as a woman, a man loves someone that is intelligent, someone you can come home to and tell that this is what's going on, and she can tell you, "Oh, I think you should do this. I think you should do that." So, how would you be intelligent enough to give certain advice if you are uninformed? You need to read. You need to learn. You need to build. You need to dream, even if it looks small. Growth keeps a man attracted to you. That's just the truth.
Mm.
When you are growing, he doesn't, then there's no see finish. There's just this thing that is so sexy and exciting about you. Intelligence is the new sexy.
Mm.
So at first you can feel, oh, is the clothes, is the Brazilian hair, is the okay. After that, unko, is the shapy body. After that, unko, what is here? And that's why you hear some people say they are sapiosexual. It means that they're attracted to your intelligence. So when one person grows and the other person shrinks, the marriage will definitely suffer. So as a woman, you need to evolve, you need to learn. And then lastly, redefine what sacrifice is. Sacrifice is intentional, it is not forced. I heard a man of God, I don't know if you saw that video, who was, in fact, I was embarrassed on his behalf. He was saying he was saying something so disgusting, and he was laughing as he was saying it. He said before he got married, his wife wanted to go study abroad. She wanted to do her MBA abroad. And that he knows, never. You will leave me in Nigeria, never. So when they got married, he ensured that she did not travel out. And that, is she a doctor? Yes, just that she got a certificate in Ikorodu. And he was laughing. And I'm like, what's funny about that?
Mm.
There was nothing funny about that. I
Mm.
don't have to shrink because I am married. In fact, a person who loves you will want you to fly your wings.
Yeah.
And a person who is secured in himself, a man who is secured in himself, will be applauding his wife the loudest. So I'll give an example. Myself, I had to take a hiatus when I started giving birth and raising my kids. And when it was time to start again, myself and my husband had a conversation. The kids are now old enough, you can start now. And my husband is my number one cheerleader. He carries my matter on his head. You understand? He tells me, oh, you saw it. If he sees somebody who does what I'm doing, he forwards that person's video to me. That watch the way she said this thing. You can say it better than that, girl.
Yeah.
I do. You understand? Like that's who a man who loves to see you grow will do. I was coming home very late. That was last week. I went for an event, and a friend called me and she was like, your husband is not going to be angry. I'm like, angry that what? I went to work. The only thing he's going to be concerned about is how far should I come and pick you? Are you safe? Who is there with
Yeah.
you? Not who are you? Why are you out? Why are you not yet home at this time? Why are you? A man who is secure will sing your praise, would help you fly your wings so that you can fly so high. And that's why you need to understand that there's a difference between you need to know what sacrifice is. Sacrifice is intentional, it is not forced. It has to be a conversation between you and your spouse. It's not something he just expects automatically that you do. You should sit down and have a conversation. And sacrifice has seasons, it's not permanent loss. It is not that
Mm.
forever you can't do this thing because you're married. You can't do this thing because you're a mother. It's temporary. You have to talk about it that, oh, okay, for now we're not going to do. And I'm even talking about sacrifice in the path of the what's it called, of the wife. Even the husband makes sacrifices too. Like my own husband, he has said that he doesn't want to miss out in the life of our children. So anytime he gets a juicy offer that will take him out of where we are, he doesn't apply. How about that? Because he says that anytime my husband travels, because there are times he travels and he has to be away from 1 month. He does video call every time. He now starts saying, "Oh God, the children have grown taller and he's not at home." It pains him. When there was a day my firstborn used a certain English word on him, he said, "Jesus, where did his son learn that big English word and he's not at home?" He feels every time he's not at home that he's missing out. So that's also
Mm.
sacrifice. Knowing that for now, I don't want to be out of their life. I want to be there. I want to be present. I want to see what they do. So it's not just a woman, it's a man too. But like I said, it is seasonal. It's for a particular period of time. He knows that, oh, it is for this time that they are growing. You understand? And then choose wisely. Oh. If you are here and you're not yet married, choose wisely. The signs will always be there. The signs will always be there. Choose someone who you feel that understands what partnership is about. Someone who will not demean you, will not make you feel less of who you are and who you should be. Choose someone who loves to see you fly. Choose someone who understands that there is more to who you are than being a wife and being a mother. It's important. Two old people choosing, it's not one person. You can't you it's like this. If you want to if you want to if you want to be all together, then it has to be interdependence, not one person depending on the other person, because it's even going to be tiring for you to just be depending on one person all the time. But when you both know that it's partnership, you have communication, you talk about all of these things. See, women, I'm not saying nag, But please open your mouth to tell your spouse how you feel. Because the truth is, they are not God. Yorubas will say, oh, Kinsha, Arinuro de Olumoran kan. They don't know what it, if you don't tell them, they don't know. So sit down, have a conversation about it. I tease my husband at times that you don't even know me. You don't know when I'm feeling a certain way. Anytime I start talking like that, he knows that there's something up with me, and I'm trying to tell him little by little how I'm feeling. Or I start asking him questions like, because I've been smiling, you think I'm happy? So you can't even probe further to find out if I'm happy. And then it now makes him say, oh, okay, is anything going on that I don't know about? So speak up. Speak up. Let your spouse know exactly how you're feeling. So I don't want to sound like I'm anti-marriage or I'm extreme, because I'm happily married. I'm enjoying every bit of it. But not losing yourself doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're self-aware. You love yourself so much that that love now flows. And that's how it should be. If you don't, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you are all you should be, your husband would enjoy it, your children would enjoy it. So you need to fill yourself up, fill your cup. You do a monthly check-in. Am I growing or am I shrinking? Schedule non-negotiable personal time. This time is my time. Ask yourself regularly, what part of me am I ignoring? Have honest conversations with yourself. These are the things that help you not lose yourself. These are the things that help you not lose yourself.
Whoa! Look at my notes. I was writing all through.
Oh, are you serious? Okay, someone say something. Your comparison is different. That pastor just got married, no kids yet. They needed to build the ministry together. That pastor just come. Well, I don't know. Oh, okay, maybe this person heard that particular
Yes,
pastor's
yes, yes.
video I was
He,
talking
he, he
about. So
actually
I
made
don't
he
know.
actually made this comment when you're talking about the pastor, and
Oh,
after you
okay.
when you talked about the pastor, you're now talking about yourself and your husband. So that's why he's
Mm-hmm.
saying that you are comparing yourself with the husband, that the pastor did not have children.
No, but the pastor literally said, "You can't leave me."
Yeah, yes,
He
yes. I
said,
heard
he
that.
said, he said you could get that. If okay, then he went on to say she got her MBA just that is in Ikorodu, and he was laughing.
Yeah.
You understand? So
No,
how
what?
about have a conversation? How about have a conversation with your wife that okay, I'm trying to build a ministry. Can we do this at a later time?
Yeah.
But don't make it sound condescending. Because he was
Mm.
laughing, but we didn't hear the wife's side of the story. Is the wife laughing too? Is she happy about
Mm.
that?
Mm.
So let me give you another instance. We had a we had this get together with some friends, and one of my husband's friend, the wife, had so much acne on her face. They just had a second baby, and I could tell that she's stressed. So that day, that baby was so fussy, crying, and you would literally think that baby is mine. I carried the baby. I said, maybe she's hot. I pulled off her clothes. I said, she the way she was hissing, I knew she was tired. Looking at her face, I knew she was tired. So I told her, I said, have you expressed breast milk inside bottle? Because I'll relieve you of this baby tonight. I
Mm.
bathed that baby. I fed her. I backed her, and I was dancing. So when they left, I was now telling my husband that myself and this lady are not close enough for me to talk about her acne. She has serious acne on her face, and you can tell that it's stress-induced acne. But there's some sensitive and touchy things you can't just talk to anyone about if you're
Yes.
not close. You get. So I didn't
Yeah.
want to be, because that could be like an insecurity for us. So I didn't want to just, say that out and all of that. So when I was talking to my husband, I said, I don't know how she would feel if I gift her a spa session. Myself and her, we could go on a spa date, and then she goes with massage and all of that. Then she does facial. You get. And my husband was like, "Ah, okay, that would be cool. You understand?" Then he gave me her phone number. You understand? But guess what my husband said? My husband said, funny enough, that he has also told the husband about it, that what's up with your wife's face? And he said, the husband said, leave her like that. Oh, I love her like that. I said, he's a
mm,
selfish guy.
mm,
Why would you say you love her like that, leave her like that? Have you guys tried everything? Do you know if she loves herself like that?
mm,
So I think men think women are all about them.
mm,
We are actually not all about you. Like, why would
mm,
you say that? So at the end, you're trying to not let her feel bad about it, and you're saying, baby, I love you like that. That's understandable. But if you're not doing anything to help her solve her acne issue, and you're not saying leave her like that, does she love herself like that?
mm,
You understand? So that's my point. It shouldn't be because he is working for you. Does not mean the other spouse that had to sacrifice her happiness loves it. So it should be
mm.
balanced. It should be so. Back to that pastor's conversation. Is the wife okay and happy that she got it in Ikorodu as against in the US? Because the man actually said the wife, before they got married, has always wanted to travel out for her MBA. I'm trying to read what that person said.
Yes.
Well, I understand your point, but let's not judge the pastor. They definitely had a conversation about it and agreed. Just Pastor Eneche told his wife to stop practicing as a doctor, and and that that he's pay that's not a complete sentence. Well, that's their marriage. And you said something here. You said they had a conversation, and that's what I just said also. I said, I hope they had a conversation. I hope the wife is happy. We're talking about sacrifice here.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I hope the wife is happy. I hope that as he's laughing about it, the wife is laughing as well.
Mm,
That's just it. Because many women have had to shrink for their husbands, and they wouldn't even say it to keep peace. So that's my point. If you have a conversation about it, sure, you understand. If that's what you feel will work for your family, sure. Like I just said now, I said my husband would not take a job that would take him outside his children.
yeah.
We had a conversation about it. He says he doesn't want to miss out in a life. My own take is this: if it was my husband's job that brought all of us to Abuja, we were in Lagos. I told him that my mom and dad, they had a distant relationship. My mom and us were in Ibadan. My dad was in Lagos. My mom never liked it. We as the children didn't like it. And that was one of the conversation I had with my husband before we got married. We would not run husband is in somewhere, wife is in somewhere. We won't do that.
Mm,
And so when he got a job that brought him to Abuja, we knew that we were all coming to Abuja.
so Abuja.
So it's the conversation, just like you said, it's a conversation. The courage the courageous home. It's the conversation we're talking about now. You have to have that conversation and make sure in the conversation that your wife is not having to give up her dreams. That's what we're saying. If she thinks about it and she's bitter about it, you've been unfair to her.
Mm,
If she thinks about the life she would have had and she feels bitter about it, it's unfair to her. That's part of
mm,
losing yourself. You get you completely abandon your vision, your hopes, your aspiration because you want to tend to someone else's dreams. I hope you're compensating her in a way to make her feel she has not lost a lot.
mm, mm, mm. Look at this person and say, thank you so much, coach. You have been speaking to me the whole time. I'm trying to find myself and it's not been easy. I have lost myself and even I'm struggling to plan ahead. That's Nike
Mm.
Pops.
So I'd say that the first step is, I said something. I don't know if you were listening from the onset. I said acceptance is very key. And I think that most people also think that it has to be something grand and big when you're trying to find yourself again. It could be as little as deciding to start a habit. It could be as little as saying to yourself that, you know what, I'm going to be waking up earlier now. I'll wake up 5 a.m. I'll take 30 minutes to pray. I'll use 30 minutes to pray for clarity. It could be as little as that. So it doesn't have to be. This thing about finding yourself is baby steps. And even in finding yourself generally, or in whatever it is you want to do, baby steps. Was there a time where I wished that I am doing what I'm doing right now? Yes, there was a time like that. In fact, Coach Dennis, your wife was part of people who kept asking me every day that, what's up? What are you doing?
Mm,
If she sees
mm,
me again, in fact, let me tell you one of the things she told me about consistency. She said, you don't have to do it every day. That's what most people think, it has to be every day. You don't have to do it every day. If you decide that it is once a week, show up that once a week.
mm,
And that was exactly what I did. And if you go through my Instagram post this year, you will see that there was no week I did not show up.
mm,
Other people had the grace for every day. I didn't want to deceive myself that I could show up every day. I said to myself, in a week, I'll show up 2 times. And that's what I've consistently done from January 1 till date. Consistently shown up twice a week. So what am I saying to Nike Pops? It doesn't have to be a big thing. You can say to yourself that I'm just going to start with little. I'm just going to start taking a walk. I'm just going to be doing prayer walk every Wednesday just to pray about something or just to clear my head. Most is importantly, you see this all finding your identity or redefining your identity. You can't do it outside God. He brings the clarity. Especially when you're beginning to feel an emptiness and you're feeling a sense of longing, it means God is calling you to something deeper, and He needs you to, set a time aside for you and Him. So Nikke Pops, it doesn't have to be something grand, it doesn't have to be something big. Just it could just be 5 minutes. You saying that, you know what, for 5 minutes every day, I'll invest in myself. Investing in yourself can mean taking out time to talk to God. It could mean researching and searching out on people. I think it also, you could, let me kind of try to simplify it. Do you know that when I scroll past Instagram sometimes, when I scroll through Instagram sometimes, the kind of content that I gravitate towards are the kind of life I want to live.
mm,
So if you are superficial, I scroll past, like there's nothing me and you have in common. You get, when I see, so I was telling my husband that your timeline shows who you are,
mm,
because algorithm will keep bringing to you what they think you like. So
mm,
whatever you're putting attention to, the algorithm will be bringing that thing your way. So it makes everyone knows who they are. When I scroll through your feed, I can tell your interest. So you can also begin to look at the life of certain people that you love to have their kind of life. Look at them. What do they do? Sometimes, there's something I'm into, and my prayer, anytime I look at people like that, I say, God, show me what you have shown them. I
mm,
want to see what you have shown them. That's been my prayer of recent, based on something that I'm doing presently. I say, Father, I'm sure you've revealed something to this person. Reveal that thing to me too. I want to have the depth of understanding that this person has concerning this matter. So read up on people who have the kind of life that you wish for. What are their interests? What do they do? How do they talk? What do they pay attention to? Also begin to gravitate towards things like that. It doesn't have to be much. Little steps, baby steps, and you get there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Woo! And I've said people should ask more questions, but we've exhausted our time. Coach Toke, the way
Yeah.
you've really dropped gems today, I'm going to ask you for something.
Okay.
So I don't know whether you'll be chance. I want to invite you for a podcast session. Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. But
Okay.
so like we can do a so I want to do a solid podcast around this conversation we just had. And let's see, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If you've not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button and subscribe. Please subscribe to Coach Toke's channel. She's a coach, actually. She's a well-trained coach, and also she's an event host. She's an on-air personality. She's one of the best. I can recommend her any day. So let's say you have an event, you're looking for a host, please call on Coach Toke. And if you need more coaching, counseling, you can reach out to Coach Toke. Coach Toke, how can people reach out to you?
So my email address, tokeakimpelu@gmail.com. And I'm also very active on Instagram at Olori Adetoke.
Okay, awesome. Please reach out to us. So remember that I have a marriage coaching class coming up next week, Friday to Saturday. If you want to register, the registration will be in the description of this live. Please just click to register. To register for the marriage coaching class. Then please, if you enjoyed this session, you can share the link with your family, with your friends. I'm going to this live will be saved. So if you want to go back again to listen to it, you can come back to the page to listen to it. All right. Thank you so much, Coach Toke. You've given me a
Pleasure.
number of inspiration. You said a lot, like deep things I've not even heard before. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done, Ma. Thank you so much. And everyone,
My
thanks for
pleasure.
joining our live. We're going to have another live session on Monday night. So we're going to be having this series, and we're going to see how we can bring more education and more resource persons to this live. Thank you so much. God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Mama, I believe feminism is not hidden in your coaching. Courage, what's courageous old.
What's your definition of feminism? And
Courageous
that's
old,
why I
oh.
said I didn't want to sound, I said something. I said I didn't want to sound anti-marriage because I'll be
Yeah.
lying to you if I told you that I'm not enjoying my marriage. I
Mm.
am. I'm
No, Coach
happily
Toke is
married.
enjoying her marriage, oh. Like, and if you know Coach Toke,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
when we got
I
married,
strike a balance.
me and Daniel were surprised, like, this surprise. In school, we for like, Toke go scatter the career world first, corporate world first before she married. I was
No,
surprised that
I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl.
yes,
I'm in love with my husband. Yes.
actually,
Yes.
with 4 kids. 4 kids. So
Yes. Yes.
she's
Yes.
enjoying her marriage, and she's also doing well in her career and her business. All right. Have a good night,
Thank
everyone. God
you.
bless you. Thank you,
All
everyone.
right. Bye,
All right. So
everyone. Thank
the
you.
recorded version will be on this channel. You can always come back to watch it. All right. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
All right. Good night. Bye.